Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, I'm Lena Pringle, filling in for Kylie Conway. This is your News 8 Daily 8 for Thursday, December 22nd. Today is the day of transition as we prepare for a historic winter storm system, bringing snow, powerful wind gusts, and life-threatening cold. Joining me now is Meteorologist Marcus Bailey with what you need to know as you prepare for the storm and holiday travel.
So what we're saying across the state is you need to have your travel plans wrapped up by late this afternoon into the evening. It's going to be it's going to be an extremely quick transition from some scattered rain and maybe just all out rain, specifically say here in the metro. By around, say, 5 o'clock probably is when we open up that window. And once then the cold air kind of catches up, it is a full-on transition to heavy snow. It's not going to be a gradual change. And so once we change to snow, it's going to be pretty heavy snow really through the duration of this event, which we think the accumulation is probably going to happen, say, between 5 p.m. at the earliest till around 5 a.m. Friday morning. So we're still kind of going 3 to 6 inches of snowfall. But again, once we flip that switch, that's when travel is going to get really, really difficult because of that switch over, and it's going to be very heavy snowfall when it happens.
And, you know, we've been calling this historic, a once-in-a-generation, possibly type of event.
Right.
What makes this so much different than other winter storms?
Not the snow. Obviously, we've had bigger snows. It's a combination of numerous things. I think one thing that is going to be significant here, Lena, is we've talked a lot about flash freezing. Well, what is that? You know, we're going to have a little bit of rain before the snow happens. And so you'll have a layer of wetness over snow. And I think probably somewhere in the mid-evening hours, you could be talking about a 30-degree drop in less than 2 hours, so maybe 90 minutes, 30 degrees. I mean, that's incredible. We've already seen this happening to our west where there were areas that within a half hour dropped 20 to 25 to 30 degrees. So a significant drop. And so that will ice up very quickly. So that's one part of it. The other part that makes this historic is the combination of not just the cold that's going to be coming in, but the winds, which will increase overnight, where we could be talking wind gusts, up to 50 miles per hour, 55 miles per hour. That's wind advisory criteria. You're talking wind chills 30 below or more when you wake up Friday morning. And then in addition to that, it's going to be blowing around the snow. It's going to be drifting. It's going to be hard to measure how much snow we actually get because it's just going to be whipped around everywhere. But even though we're done with the snow Friday morning, we're not done with the issues because you're going to have whiteout conditions Friday. You're going to have frigid air on Friday. It's not something you want to get stranded in. That's why a lot of, we've been saying, if you can stay home, stay home. All of those things combined, especially for the duration of how long it's going to be windy and cold, it's going to last till Saturday. You're talking wind chills 20 to 30 below for an extended period of time. That's all of that combined is what's going to make this a very unique storm.
Yeah, and making sure that people stay aware and prepared is what we have been trying to do all week long.
That's right. So
in finishing this, is there anything else you think is important for people as they navigate the rest of this work week going into the holidays? Well,
listen, I know that it's the holiday. And I mean, we can sit here and say all day long, don't travel, but people are going to do what they're going to do around the holidays. So I just, we just want to stress the timeline of everything, when it would be best to travel, when it certainly will not. And that's why we're saying here on this Thursday, try to get your traveling done before 5 p.m. because the conditions will deteriorate with the falling snow and the wind after that. And even though the snow wraps up by, say, daybreak Friday morning, it's going to be very difficult for travel. It does improve by a little bit Friday night, a little bit on Saturday. I think Christmas Day will be a little bit more quiet if you can kind of delay those kind of things. But if you can't, I stress lots and lots and lots of time, because remember, you're going to have a lot of people out on the roads, unfortunately, for traveling. And so you need to have a lot of patience.
A lot of patience, and make sure you get that Storm Track 8 app so you can stay aware of all the changing conditions throughout the weekend. Thank you so much, Marcus.
You got it.
The Indiana Department of Homeland Security says the State Emergency Operations Center went live at 7 o'clock this morning. It will operate 24/7, providing support to emergency management and first responders and serving as the contact point with state, regional, and federal partners. Governor Holcomb also activated nearly 150 members of the Indiana National Guard. They will serve as highway assistance teams in northern third parts of the state to help drivers. The city of Indianapolis says it's pulling out all of its resources to fight the historic weather. The National Weather Service joined city leaders yesterday to warn about wind chills at 25 to 30 below, which it says is uncommon for this area. The Department of Public Works crews are prepared to start salting roads around 3 o'clock this afternoon as some of the rain transitions to snow. Indy Parks plans to open warming centers. Washington Park will have extended hours from 8 p.m. Friday to 8 a.m. Sunday, with Garfield and Thatcher Parks being open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday and 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday. Mayor Joe Hogsett encouraged everyone to check on their vulnerable neighbors during a press conference yesterday to cover up if they need to go outside. Mayor Hogsett also says everyone needs to bring their pets inside during the storm and prepare your pipes to prevent a burst. He says first responders will be out all weekend. This morning, 3 Indiana counties are under travel alerts. Henry and Clinton counties are under travel advisories. This is the lowest level of alert, meaning drivers should use caution as some travel may be restricted. Hamilton County is under a travel watch, meaning only essential travel is recommended. We first told you about the watch during daybreak yesterday. The county's emergency management agency says it issued this early to make it clear just how serious the storm's impacts could be. According to the agency's executive director, black ice and blowing snow could create big issues. It says salt trucks are ready to go and extra shovels, generators, and winches. The winter storm hitting Indiana today won't just be felt by Hoosiers. The National Weather Service is calling it a once-in-a-generation type event, with winter weather alerts issued for more than 90 million people across the country. Even southern states like Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia will see wind chills below zero this week. And more than 87 million Americans have also been put under wind chill alerts across the country. Health officials are warning people to watch out for frostbite and hypothermia amid the bitter blasts of cold air. According to the CDC and Indiana Department of Homeland Security, symptoms of frostbite include redness or pain in the skin, white or grayish yellow skin, and numbness. Experts say symptoms of hypothermia include shivering, memory loss, slurred speech, confusion, and drowsiness. News 8 reached out to a doctor at Community Health about cold injuries, and he says the best advice is to limit exposure to the cold air. They recommend lots of layers and water-resistant clothes if you do have to go outside. New on Daybreak, a local cardiologist is warning of health risks related to winter storm cleanups. He says shoveling snow could trigger a heart attack. Doctors with the American Heart Association say as we age, we have a harder time generating enough heat to stay warm. The problem worsens the less fit we are. Dr. William Gill with IU Health says shoveling snow is like starting a vigorous workout inside a freezer, which can raise blood pressure and your heart rate to dangerous levels. Signs of a heart attack can include shortness of breath, chest discomfort, which could travel to the neck, jawline, upper back, and down the arms, and breaking out in a cold sweat and nausea. Dr. Gill says small children and the elderly are most at risk of hypothermia. He suggests asking younger adults or teenagers in the neighborhood to take care of the shoveling. Local furnace technicians have ways to keep your home heated safely during the storm. The HVAC manager at Complete Comfort Heating, Air, and Plumbing says it's important to do regular preventative maintenance, like replacing filters and checking for leaks. Dylan Evans says people should double check their furnaces before the frigid temperatures roll in. And we do have a guide to get you through the storm right now on wishtv.com. It's in the As Seen On section of Wish TV. It's on our website, and you can find everything you need to know to stay safe during the winter storm. Remember, you can catch the Colts Monday Night Football primetime matchup against the Chargers right here on Wish TV. We'll have special coverage all day with Sports Director Anthony Calhoun and his team, followed by kickoff at 8:15. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Lena Pringle, and you can find us online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.